Hey, good morning, Westside. Um, Today we're just looking at three verses from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 10, verses 32 through 34. And I'm not going to say a whole lot about these, and I'll tell you why after I read them. But here they are. They were on their way up to Jerusalem, with Jesus leading the way, and the disciples were astonished, while those who followed were afraid. Again he took the 12 aside and told them what was going to happen to him. "We are going up to Jerusalem," he said, "and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and the teachers of the law. They will condemn him to death and will hand him over to the Gentiles, who will mock him and spit on him, flog him and kill him. 3 days later he will rise." Here again we see Jesus talking about what he's going to suffer. And in just a few short weeks, we are going to be walking through Holy Week. And I have the privilege of being able to share the message on Good Friday, which typically we focus on what Jesus suffered. And so I want to take the time to be able to really dig a little bit deeper into suffering. But also post-Easter, I'm going to be preaching for several weeks, and we're going to be looking at the story of the church found in Acts. And one of the things that we see in Acts, again, is the suffering that takes place, the persecution that breaks out in the church. And so I wanted to take the time to look at what does suffering look like for us as we follow Jesus. So just the only thing I think I really want to say about this right now is that Jesus, in this instance, you see him and he knows his path. That he is walking towards the lion's den. He's walking towards the destination and the place where he knows this is going to take place. This is what comes next for him. And he's out and he's leading the group that are following him as he knows what he's going to suffer. And the scripture says that the disciples are astonished, and the other group of followers who are part of Jesus' group, they're afraid. And that idea of the disciples being astonished, that they're filled with curiosity, wonder, they're stupefied at why he's going to such a dangerous place. He's already told them twice that he's going to suffer everything, and they know things are getting intense, things are getting hot. And so they're stupefied, they're astonished. Where is he going? And then others are even just filled with fear because of how tense things are. But notice that Jesus does not push them towards where he is going, that he's out in front, leading. He does not push us. He leads us. And sometimes he leads us into difficult things. And sometimes we're stupefied, we're astounded, we're wondering, why is he making the choice that he's making? Why is he taking the path that he's taking? We're filled with fear at the thought of following. But we're called to follow. And we're called to take up our cross. We're called to deny ourselves. We're called to live a Jesus way of life. And here we get a very unique picture of the kind of life that Jesus chooses to live. One in which suffering brings about redemption. My suffering doesn't bring about my redemption. It just makes me like Christ, whose suffering did bring about my redemption. So may we all follow him, even filled with fear and wonder at what he's doing, but trusting that he's doing what is right and is good.